Hello there, Kyle Katarn here, and it is Wednesday, my dudes. Let's do the comic review. First up, we got Dr. Aphra by Simon Spurrier and Kev Walker. Tam Posla is back. I knew we hadn't seen the last of him. He's still got a score to settle with Aphra. But my question is, didn't he get his armor stolen by Tulvin a couple issues ago? How did he get it all back? Meanwhile, in a Kreska prison, Tulvin is preparing to escape in a TIE fighter, and we get a callback to Inspector Thanoff, which is always welcome because I thought his character was brilliant. Then it's the Battle of the X's, with Sonostoros and Tulvin meeting each other for the first time. First with a shootout, and then coming to a mutual realization. I thought it was a pretty funny way for them to have their introduction. Aphra encounters the ghost of her mother, but rejects the idea that this is actually her mom. After all, she wouldn't be seen dead wearing beige. It turns out the ghost is actually the predatory function of an aggressive kind of space mold called Gondravian hook spores. Kind of like the lure of an anglerfish. But in this case, the ghost of Aphra's mom. Aphra once again sets her sights on the crashed Jedi ship from a few issues ago, vowing to get her hands on that lightsaber. She may be trapped in a space prison being pursued by a ravenous ghost fungus, but that doesn't mean she can't turn a profit, right? Aphra runs into Tulvin and Staros, and things are going fine until she gets snatched up for interrogation. The interrogation scene not only offers up some badass artwork, but it gives us a pretty good insight into the Boars of Myron. Up until now, the only Boar we'd ever seen or heard of was Bor Gullet, Saw Gerrera's close and personal friend. There really wasn't a whole lot of information available at the time. Was this creature's name Bor Gullet? Was the species Bor Gullet? Was it a nickname? Well, now we know. This is Bor Ephraim. He's another one of the Boars of Myron. Now we know that Bor is more like a title, which is then followed by the name of the actual Myron. According to Wikipedia, the Galactic Empire actually kept 3 Boars of Myron on ice, defrosting them as needed to interrogate prisoners over the years. Pretty cool. The visual representation of Bor Ephraim's journey throughout Aphra's mind is fantastic. We see the faces of people that Aphra's killed, dating all the way back to the first issue. We see memories of Aphra's mother, as well as a distorted version of the truth as the Bor Ephraim begins to warp her mind. Aphra manages to keep her secret safe by offering up something else of use, the infectious spore fungus colony she discovered. Unfortunately, the Imperial solution to this is to set a collision course for a nearby rebel planet with everybody on board. At the end of the issue, it's revealed that Tam Posla has been working for Hera this whole time, and 000 has been listening. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the next issue exactly, but I think it's safe to say Aphra's going to have a bad time. Alright, next up we have Star Wars Adventures number 12. The first story is Intermission by Elsa Chartier and Pierre Collinet. I love the way the story started with the Jedi vs. Sith confrontation, and then it's revealed to be a really cheesy stage performance, complete with a goofy alien stagehand tossing a prop. That was fun. So Anakin and Padme are attending a private party aboard Madame Sonata's private ship. She's a famous actress. And her ship is ridiculously baller. She's got a Gundark zoo and a whole museum dedicated to her acting achievements. I particularly liked her version of Amidala, and I thought it was an interesting commentary on the conversations we've been having here on Earth about race and casting. Padme has a problem with the historical inaccuracies, but no one really seems to care that an alien is portraying a human here. In my opinion, that's exactly how it should be, with more emphasis placed on the character portrayal and less on the physical features of the actor themselves. Suddenly things start going sideways, and the museum figures come to life. Saw that one coming. The malfunctioning Yoda droid was equal parts creepy and hilarious, and watching Anakin and Padme have to flee through all these ridiculous exhibits was pretty entertaining. They even threw in Dex's Diner, which was a fun little Easter egg. The pair stumble into a separatist control room deep inside Sonata's ship, complete with a giant hologram of Dooku. But hey, she's never been exactly subtle, right? We'll have to wait for the next issue of Star Wars Adventures for part 2 of that. The next story is called A Small Push by Scott Peterson. The story is set on Ryloth, and it seems to be centered around the fact that Twi'leks are dicks to little girls. Suddenly Mace Windu shows up, befriends the little girl, gives her some strength of spirit. Nothing really happens in the story. The apex of the action is Mace Windu climbing a cliff. But it's a nice little feel-good story with a coda. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's the choices you make that define you. And lastly, we have Lando Double or Nothing, issue number 3 by Rodney Barnes and Paolo Villanelli. The artwork in this issue is totally solid. I really like the use of pastels against an otherwise really grim palette. It gives it a very retro vibe. The story is starting to fall flat for me a little bit, and Lando's constant monologues are honestly starting to take some effort to get through. Christus and her people preparing to rise up and take over the droid factory from the Imperials. That storyline could get interesting, but it looks like we're going to have to wait till next issue to get any of those payoffs. So Lando is thrown into an arena, right? And he's forced to face off against 4 cartel members that he's pissed off in the past. This is where I have a problem with the story. Lando Calrissian is a gambling, smuggling, shoot you in the back, steal your girl kind of guy. He is not Space Hercules. And yet here he is, zipping around the ring, running circles around all 4 of these guys that he's fighting at once, with constant, like, Deadpool-esque quips, and without taking a scratch. This is not the Lando that I recognize. Granted, he is young here, he's in his prime, and he did do a little bit more fighting in Solo, but not to this extent. Also, I'm pretty sure he fights a Naga from World of Warcraft, like, straight up. L3 shows up with the Falcon, and they're all able to escape after a brief chase involving some space slugs, which felt very Star Wars-y and fun, and was probably a high point of the story for me. TIE fighters streak towards the Falcon, leaving our heroes in deadly peril! Tune in next time to find out what happened. I'm thinking things are really going to come to a head in the next issue of Lando. I believe it's a 6-issue series, so this marks the halfway point. That's it for the comics this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out the rest of my channel for more content, reactions, and reviews. Leave me a comment if you have a question or something to say, and as always, may the Force be with you.